Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is David. Oh, I'm on this last slide. I think we have to go to the first slide. I'm a co-founder at Visionaries. I cannot see how many people are there. I hope there's more than one person. If not, and by the way, feel free to take a nap. I have a very soothing voice. I won't take it against you. So, okay, I'm going to start now. I'm a co-founder at Visionaries777. I'm going to be showing you how clients have been using augmented and mixed reality beyond marketing, which I think has been the primary use for our industry for many years. We've worked with clients across Japan, Europe, and the US, and I'm going to be showing you through real-life case studies how this has been working over the years. We all believe the big catalyst for our industry will be once Apple launches those smart glasses next year. But yeah, we are all looking forward to that day. We know that hardware manufacturers are investing heavily in this topic. But before that, I want to take you back to the year before iPhone was launched, 2006. In 2006, I just bought my first Motorola Razr, best phone ever designed, arguably. Elf Me, or Elf My, I forgot this website, was very popular. You could put a face of a little elf of yourself on an elf on the internet. Mark Zuckerberg had just made Facebook public to the world. Our big achievements. Fun fact, he's 2 months younger than I am. My achievement back then was trying to defy gravity with my haircut. At the same year, my business partners, Nico and Franz, were creating the most amazing prototyping augmented reality experiences based on spatial computing, Nico on the left, and Franz on the right, creating the first mixed reality hardware. 2 years later, Franz launched his first mini prototype game using Lego figurines back then. Lego spotted them and they hired them to create digital experiences combining the physical and digital worlds, back then again with computers and cameras. So the industry evolved. In 2011, we started the business. We were having clients, of course, mainly focused on marketing back then, where this client was a property developer for many years. We did an app where people could get a Christmas card, color a little teddy bear, and overlay when you scanned it, you would see the teddy bear, your own creation, in the Christmas card, and you could then share it in social media. Yeah, definitely a fun little thing. 2012, we created an experience where in 7 countries you could download an app and you could play in billboards around the cities, or you could play at the McDonald's. When you buy a McDonald's meal, you could have the tray mats. Yeah, you could play an augmented reality game and collect points to claim a Coca-Cola glass. Then we started seeing more the use cases around markers. So Philipp Stein was our first client, nearly 10 years ago, where you could have a little paper strap around your wrist and visualize a watch in 3D. We had business cards in augmented reality. We worked with Shazam at the time, had embedded, actually this came later on, but they embedded Sapar within the app. So within the Shazam app, you could actually have augmented reality experiences. This died when Apple acquired them, but it was quite successful before ARKit and ARCore. And yeah, that of course also meant that we became experts in real-time 3D modeling, because we have to optimize assets. If anyone has their phones and they want to try this is the most recent projects that we've done with the Richmond group, is with Piaget. If anyone has 30,000 euros laying around and is looking for a Christmas present for your dear loved one, make sure you buy this watch, and you can try it just through augmented reality. Connectivity here may not be very good, but anyway, just email me later, I could send you the QR code. And then we started looking to the automotive industry. The automotive industry has many challenges. They are going from diesel to electric, hydrogen, autonomous driving vehicles, and we started seeing that they definitely had big budgets back then to create all of these crazy experiences. So we had this master plan saying, okay, let's create XR experiences for the design, marketing, manufacturing, marketing, and maintenance of vehicles. I showed this to my BMW client, and he laughed at me, and he said, well, oh, sorry, keep moving. Sorry, guys, the camera, I'm sorry. I'm going to stay still now. And yeah, he said, yeah, you really need to extend that graph. You need to make sure that the different customer journey and product life cycles could be impacted by extended reality. So yeah, it was intense. And then he said, to make things even more fun, you need to also help the tier 1 suppliers and tier 2 suppliers. These are 45 billion euro companies, or VRARA, 5 billion euro company making mechanical structures for the automotive industry, a family-owned business in Germany. They also need to evolve into using virtual reality and augmented reality so that it would be easier for BMW to implement in the future. This is an example of how we started training people with augmented reality by overlaying real-time 3D assets to scale on the vehicles before they were launched, and then you could do the same thing in the actual vehicle. You could see the chassis, the engine, invisible technologies that are quite difficult for anyone to understand unless they're seeing the car cut in three pieces, or with augmented reality. We started using augmented reality to train people, like with Polaris. This was built with Vuforia Studio, where you could easily have someone, or teach someone how to assemble a vehicle from scratch, breaching that gap between someone who has all the knowledge and someone who has very little knowledge on how to do these kind of things. Then things started getting a bit more exciting with augmented reality, because then we could, for example, visualize on top of the machine real-time IoT data, and that allowed someone to very easily identify what was going on within the machine and what area they should be doing maintenance on. So just imagine during COVID times, our clients, they couldn't fly from Germany to China, or they cannot currently. You could easily have someone just wear some mixed reality glasses or an iPad, and you could train them very easily on how to do preventive maintenance on this machinery. With Bose Audio, we started training their sales teams, and then we used this tool for them to visualize components real time on top inside the vehicle to show where all these components are laying. Osram Semiconductors, I don't know if you know them, but they make these tiny little things, semiconductors, tiny components. We created a real-time tool that allows any one of their sales teams to go into a meeting with an iPhone, just show connect this to an HDMI projector, and you can show, let's say, if I'm talking to you, a BMW engineer, I could point at this device, at these components, and then explain to you where the component lies within the car, and what is the USP of the product. We are now getting into more use cases where people can use AR, for example, in a daily use. Beyond marketing, this is with an insurance company in Portugal. So when you have a car accident, instead of calling the car insurance company, you have the app, you scan the vehicle, and we overlay the content for you to just make sure you're in the right area at the right time. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. You make sure that you scan the vehicle in the right position, and then we just send this to the cloud, so we can detect with a 94% accuracy how big was the damage of the vehicle. The future of showrooms in automotive will be an experience where you go into your phone or an iPad or a website, you can visualize the car in 3D and overlay it in real-time 3D in augmented reality in the space. These are some of the more complicated things we've been doing outside marketing. So this is actually for Honda. We built a customized tool where any one of the Honda teams can build a virtual city in real time. They can, for example, adjust the weather patterns of these virtual cities. So you could have a sunny day, a rainy day. You could make the city as big as you want. And in this virtual city, you can, in real time, visualize, for example, the headlamps of the vehicle in certain environments, or the paint reflections of the vehicle. All of these things without having to make a physical mock-up. It saves millions of US dollars having these kind of virtual worlds for Honda. With Meta, we did an R&D project with the Quest 2. The vision behind this was we used pass-through, so you could select your vehicle. Now imagine you want to change the color of your beautiful Tesla. It's quite difficult to imagine this with our system, with the prototype we built with Meta. By the way, you can download the app. You select your car, you align the back tires, and then you can superimpose the color changing of the vehicle with the pass-through technology without having to go through object tracking. We have other clients like Aristocrat. They're an amazing client, the largest cabinet manufacturer of casinos in the world. And prior to working with us, the salespeople had to carry these physical cabinets into the casinos to show the new games. Now everything is in augmented reality. All the sales teams around the world, they just take these iPads, they show to the clients the machine, how it fits to scale in the environment. We train them also. The client can be trained on how to do maintenance on the machine. There's many more things we're doing with Aristocrat. And so these are a few of the examples of how we started moving away from just marketing. Now, the turning point was 5 years ago. We started thinking about how could we bring augmented reality to the masses, bearing in mind that glasses are not ready yet. And the idea was, we started with this patent we created around AR automation. So imagine you're in a meeting room, you go into a meeting room right now, you have so many remote controls, one for the projector, one for the TV, one for whatever. The idea would be that with just a phone, you point at the device, at the lighting or the air conditioning, and you can then activate the menu and control it without having any other control. And that really was the beginning of a product that we created called Inspectly. Now, everything that I showed you previously is built around the idea of our developers continuously having to customize things for our clients. And so to make things even bigger in terms of scalability, imagine that you have a client like a 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven has 70,000 locations worldwide. They have very tight margins. Could they one day use augmented reality to train people to do maintenance in their stores? By the way, because they're all the same, right? One 7-Eleven in Japan, Mexico, the US is the same thing. Cleaning the toilets, refilling the refrigerator. And so our concept was make it very easy for them through digital twins to overlay IoT data, real-time 2D or 3D data, navigational routes, and ultimately with this we could empower any kind of staff regardless of skill level. These digital twins are becoming more and more popular and easier to generate, and we see a lot of value of combining a digital twin with augmented reality. So you could onboard new staff remotely. You could train new staff. We've seen scenarios where we reduced the onboarding training cost by 92% in this kind of franchise locations. We can train new existing staff. We can bring visibility to a manager of thousands of locations worldwide. You can now guarantee that if the process has been standardized, that is really executed from a headquarter level. You can manage external vendors and just pretty much do anything that is human task related. Many of our clients are currently still using this kind of paper checklists. Oh, sorry, next slide. Paper checklists, believe it or not. These are clients in Mexico. They have 1,200 locations. Every month, they have to 1,200 locations. Every location has a booklet with 133 pages that needs to be filled in manually. Every day, all sorts of protocols. People don't really have the time, they forget, they fill it in at the end of the month. All this data is wasted. I'm sure everyone has been to a toilet where they have these little signature paper boards. Do really people sometimes clean the toilet? They just put the signature and they don't do it. The vision with the software is, can we have someone do and execute a task at any given moment as it's been assigned by the headquarters? Now, there are 3 ways to generate digital twin scans at this moment. If you have a huge facility, like a factory, you can use Navis. They're walking around here, by the way, with this amazing Munich-based sensor. So we can take those files and import the digital twin into a 3D editor. By the way, the client does it, we don't do it. Or you can use Matterport scanners, which is a bit more affordable. I'm going to drink some water. Sorry. So you could use Matterport scanners, and now the great news is that with the new iPhones and iPads, you have a LiDAR sensor. So we've enabled it with our own app so that clients can even scan and create a digital twin with the iPhone or iPad. For a small location, like a Burger King or a 7-Eleven, you import that 3D model into an editor where you can remotely assign any kind of virtual checklist in this digital twin. The client has complete autonomy. They don't depend on us to do any kind of process. You then go to a website, an editor, where you can then assign the certain training routine, maintenance routine to a certain employee, and that's it. The employee, first day in the job, all they need to do is activate their phone, AR-enabled phone that could be even $300 and just walk around the environment, and the system will tell them where they need to go, and it will display information based on PDF or a video or just plain text on what it is that they need to do in their own native language. Take this client, for example, convenience store franchise. They were selling a lot of, they were doing a lot of sales during COVID, but staff kept getting sick. So how do you train all these people? It was quite difficult then, and you have people all across the country. With our system, they scan their locations themselves, they assign the training routines, maintenance routines themselves, and all the staff are remotely trained in very low, these are low-skilled workers, And it's quite easy in this case, right? You're asking someone to register the temperature of the sensor. We come from a very complex scenario, like a BMW factory that is far more advanced, so these kind of things are actually much easier. Of course, we're catering for mixed reality. So the promise that we're making our clients is, if you digitalize your thousands of Chick-fil-A's or your Starbucks or your whatever, you will be ready for when Apple launches those glasses or the glasses come down in price, you will be able to deploy everything into mixed reality. Right now, you can just do it with a $300 phone. Pizza franchise, same scenario. Here it was, make sure that the refrigerator is always clean, the certain stations have to be verified due to local protocols, health and safety protocols. For example, here they need to register twice a day the gas consumption, or they need to make sure they switch on the oven at the right time. Now, in an ideal world, of course, you could have automation and IoT sensors and all these kind of things, but that's too expensive for thousands of locations. So we're looking at developing an infrastructure where you can optimize any process without any hardware. We don't install any sensors. The client is completely independent with these digital twins. Cinema chains. How can you guarantee that people, if they're not being trained properly, or they sometimes forget that the hand sanitation station has been refilled properly, or that the toilets have been cleaned, or whatever. Popcorn machine. Gyms, same scenarios. So I'm just giving you these examples to show you that it's quite broad, because in the end, we're just helping manage people in any environment. And of course, we are not stopping there. We believe augmented and mixed reality. We don't have to wait for the perfect glasses to come out to deploy this kind of infrastructure. And so what we're trying to do now is also move into not using just augmented reality for internal use cases of clients, but how can we bring it to the clients of our clients? And so this video I'm going to show you, was launched last year at G2E with Aristocrat. Listen, the logic behind this was, in a casino, you have these huge casinos, let's say the Venetian, and you want to take people to a certain area of the casino to move traffic from one place to another. So what we did was develop a system with the same digital twin, but in this case, we overlaid an AR game. So you download an app of the casino. They ask you, okay, David, would you like to play for 10 minutes an AR game? If you do so, I'll give you a 10% discount at the Blumen show, or a 15% discount at the buffet, enticing people to use the augmented reality game. And with this, we can the casino can choose where they want people to be redirected within any area in that environment. So this is definitely very exciting, right? We'll start to see the use of augmented reality in these kinds of environments, stadiums. I mean, there's many things that are coming in the future. Another exciting thing that we've been working on is with the Richmond Group. The Richmond Group is the owner of Cartier, Montblanc, Panerai, IWC, very famous luxury group. It's pretty much Richmond and the LVMH group. So with them, we created already the first store with mixed reality, where clients can actually wear HoloLens 2, and we add context into what's going on through a digital twin and overlaying more complex scenarios. So here, you have the HoloLens 2, and you can navigate it, you can explore the whole store, the history of the tank watch, you can explore the jewelry. There's many more things that you can do instead of just having a paper brochure in many scenarios. So again, they're using it for internal purposes, and now we're going to start using it for external purposes. So yeah, and I of course just to finalize my talk, the last slide. I'm sorry if I spoke very fast. They gave me a bit less time than I had planned for. I'm always used to speaking also very fast. I apologize. So in the end, if there's a customer out there, I really think that you guys should listen to these 4 pieces of advice. Number 1 is, I know that every company now says that they can claim, all these companies like the huge consultancy, I can do websites, I can do the metaverse, I can do AR. I don't think that's true. I think it's good for clients to be able to, I think it's good for clients to be able to rely on experts who've been doing this for a long time. You may otherwise be spending a lot of money making mistakes. The second thing is, think both short-term and long-term. What can we do today with phones, but what can we do in the future with mixed reality? There is a plan that can be made for that infrastructure. Involve every stakeholder meaning show the mixed reality headset to the CEO, get the salespeople involved, get the maintenance teams, get those people involved so you can increase the budgets for next year to implement these kind of technologies. And the last thing is, of course, deploy, change, and repeat. In the end, these are new technologies. We're going to have to keep improving. Don't panic because things don't work out the first time. You're going to get there, and you'll definitely have a competitive advantage if you start before your competitors. And with that, I finish my presentation. Thank you very much, everyone.